Hello everyone, good day. Welcome to class today. Hope you enjoy your day yesterday, and I'm happy you are here once again today. So let's quickly do a recap of what we did yesterday. We talked about video editing. We talked about some of the things we need to know on video editing, but I won't go back to that today. I just want us to go through the last two slides, then we'll go into today's business. So first, the final place we stopped yesterday is talking about filming a professional video with smartphone. So remember we said you must have your phone, you must have your tripod, you must have your phone holder, and you must have your mic, so which will show us those things. If you missed out yesterday, please kindly go back through the link and you should be able to see the yesterday video and follow along with us. Remember, to have a professional feeling, you must make sure you film a professional video with your probably an iPhone or your Android phone. You must prepare your content. So try as much as possible to make sure your content are set. Make sure that you select the suitable location. So which means your location is the most important part of your work. So try as much as possible to make sure you have a good location. Then set up your tripod, enable your flight mode. The essence of flight mode is to minimize disturbance. Are we together? Then mount your phone on the tripod, and once you are done with that, make sure you check your sound. It's very, very important. So make sure you clean your camera. I suggested you can use wipes, these baby wipes. So make sure you clean your camera. Make sure you set up your after setting your phone for recording, try to do some test running. It's more important. Remember the exposure. We talk about exposure. I will try and explain. Throw a little bit more light on exposure, but if you are using exposure, try to make sure you use manual. We talked about it yesterday, but I will try and do more on it now. Then run a test run and then start your recording. So I think those are the things we discussed towards the end of the class yesterday, and we get to a point whereby we want to discuss about video editing application, which that's what we'll be focusing on today, throughout today. Video editing application. So before we do that, let's before we do that, let me quickly so much about the exposure and see what can I use to achieve that. So just in 1 minute, I will be able to do that. Okay, maybe I will just focus on an object and then we play around with that. Okay. So to work on an exposure, I would have loved to use my normal standard camera for my phone, but for some reasons I won't do that. I will suggest, if you are using a very good phone, on your camera list you will have options for Pro or okay. Let me just swap to my camera. It will turn upside down, but I won't stay long on it. Just to explain one or two things, then we'll come back. Then I will explain using the third-party software. So if I minimize my screen and I click on my camera, you may just have it upside down now. Let's say I go to let's say Pro mode altogether. Now you see that when you're on Pro mode on any design, Pro mode allows you to be able to make your own personal settings the way you want. Now you have this screen on landscape. Please just bear with me, just the settings. But I'll work with this and explain this to us. This is just the same rules apply to any standard camera. When you are shooting on a low light speed, your speed light, your iOS should be on a lower level, but your shutter speed should be on if you are sitting on a low light, then your shutter speed will be high. If you are sitting on full light or maybe natural light, then your shutter speed will be lower. But I will do a sample and I will explain the English behind those things. Now you can see my screen here. Now let's talk about, let's say this is an outdoor. I don't have an outdoor experience here. I would have loved to use that. But if you're on outdoor, first thing you need to set when you are dealing with outdoor is to set your iOS. Now on iOS, that's when you have a natural light like sunlight. Your iOS, this is on auto. That's why you are seeing this A that is circling auto. If I go to the lowest one here, do you see what happened? The entire screen go black. Now if I'm on outdoor, to be sincere, I will prefer leaving my ISO on 50%. Why? There is natural light, so I don't need any additional light to work on. So with that, I don't need to stress myself, because I know once I come to shutter speed here, I can easily increase my shutter speed or reduce it to have a good light. Now I don't have a scenario of a good lighting now, so because of that, trust me, I will not be able to explain that because we're already in the night section. But just have it at the back of your mind that you can actually control your shutter speed here to have a good shot. But tonight I will just explain a station whereby you have a low light range or a middle light range, and you are interested in getting a good result. For the daylight, probably maybe tomorrow you can just come out within 20 minutes, maybe during the day if there is chance. If I'm a little bit free, then I'll just explain that aspect and document it down for us to pick it up and understand it using a daylight scenario in live stream. So we'll do it maybe a live video within maybe 20 minutes, probably tomorrow morning if I'm not too occupied in the office tomorrow. But today we're already in the night mode, and I think the most difficult part of this section is the night mode, because night section or indoor you have a low light, which means the tendency of having good light is low. Now if I come here, let's say I want to focus on this modem as a practical, or I can even add another this thing on top. I can even add another, let's say I put this. Now you see that they are very dark. Now in this same scenario too, I can decide to put my iOS on 50% or a little bit high. Then if I go to shutter speed, if I quickly start increasing, you see that when I take my shutter speed down from auto, you see that everything go blank. But do you know that if I increase it, now you see this darkness, assuming it's daylight, if I'm using 3000, 1005 for daylight, 50 iOS, 2000, 3000 for daylight, the picture will be sharp. But remember the first law that you have to, we talked about the reflection of your angle yesterday. Please, if you don't remember most of the things, go back. No, yesterday is just a basic intro. Today now we are going into more deeper things. Now if I decrease my shutter speed, the more I decrease it, the more light I have. Now please be careful when you are using this. Why did I say so? Most time when you are using this, the more you reduce your shutter speed, the tendency of you having noise in your picture or in your video. So now this is a picture setting. Let me swap to video. So I'll just do the same thing. My iOS is 50. Now this is already on the high side. So now you see, for my video here now, I'm finding it difficult to have a clear video, because even though when I reduce my shutter speed so much, I'm not getting any clearer picture. So what did I need to do? I increased my iOS, then come back to my shutter speed, reduce it a little, come to iOS, increase it, then come back here. Now do you see now? Now focus allows you to be able to focus on a specific object. But I will advise you when you are using mobile phone not to use manual focus if you are not good enough. Now I won't be able to go deep into this example, so because of that I may not talk more. But what focus does is it allows you to be able to focus on a specific object. You see that when I move from auto now, I can click on a specific object and then come back to my focus and then try to focus on that specific object. But when you are using a mobile phone, I will advise you to just stick with auto. Now I would have loved to explain why and why not, but to be sincere, I have limited let's say time or over. So let me try and swap this so that I can capture maybe like 2-3 things on the focus. Okay, don't worry, let me just start with what we are doing here. Now please, I think here now we're able to get a clean picture. I can increase this a little so that I will have the lighting, then come back here. So are we together? Now in daylight we need more of this. Now why are we stressing ourselves doing all this? I think I explained that to you yesterday. If you don't get it, please check yesterday's video. But let me just give a little recap. When you are shooting on your own, you discover that when you move your camera from angle A to angle B, the camera light change. You will see light here, it will go light, it will go dark. We are doing this so that we can lock the scene down, so that we will not really have any needs. Anywhere we move our camera, the pictures or the frames are the same all through. So we have white balance. So for your autofocus, I will suggest you just lock it down. Then we have white balance. Some phones may not have up to these features. white balance too, I was advised to put it on auto. Why? Because I don't want to go deeply into more of this explanation, because we are focusing more on editing. But you can't, if you don't have a good shot, there is no way you'll be able to edit. So here now, I can decide to film this object. Now, the major part you should always be careful here is to make sure that after you do all your design, you are able to lock them down. And most time, locking down does not actually need to do more. You see now, when I touch my screen, long press, do you see that key? That key automatically lock down the settings, which means if I click on recording now, I notice my phone stops when I start recording. But okay, let me just try and use a third-party software. Now, the reason why you don't heard me earlier is because I started doing a recording with the same phone. So, but I think we understand how this works. I don't want to waste more time. Let me use, for some of you that are using old phone and you don't have this access, for most of you that use iPhone, you should have a features like this on your iPhone. I wish I can just play around with that and show us how to do that on iPhone. But let me give you a third-party software that will give us a edge. Okay. Now, this is another software. This software too, for some of you that are using a phone that don't come with that type of, maybe it does not have a pro features. Some of you are using some a little bit old phone that did not come with a pro section, or the pro section have a limited features, not as much as mine. And some of you are using a very big phone than mine, so you have more features, but I think most of the features are covered on my phone. So I will use this software. This is a third-party software. Let me quickly show us the software. You can just download this software. The software is Open Camera. This is the software. So please go on Play Store. It's a free software. Go to, if your phone does not have enough features, I think it's applicable for both iOS and Android. I'm not sure of the iOS. I've not checked it on iOS market, but I think it should be cross software. You should be able to use on any of the platform. Now, this is the software. This software gives me access to use my front end and my back end, so I can swap to the back camera. And you see, I'm having something like what we have initially, the little lights and the lights. You see the option down here. Okay, let me try and bring out. Okay. So, okay. Now, let me quickly explain some of these things so that it will be easy and clear to us all. Now, you see this down part here, this thing I shaped under here, that's what you use for zooming. You see here, this is where you swap from picture to image. This is where you swap from front camera to back camera all together. This is where we have a lot of settings that we are coming from. Sorry. So I think we understand that. So sorry. Then we have the lockdown. So, 1 minute, please. So now this is where you set your aperture. You see now that red options all together, and then you lock it up here once you are done with the aperture. So let me quickly play around with this. Now if I'm zooming here, I've showed the zooming. You see that the more I zoom in, the more I have access to the more objects. Remember, I advise us not to use zoom. If you don't know how good your phone is, please don't try and use zooming. Don't use zooming because it won't give you the best shots at the long run. But here I have a little bit good phone camera, so I can decide to zoom in. Yeah, you see that the more I zoom in, now see, I'm able to get to that 4G pocket Wi-Fi, and the picture is still clear, but you see that I have noise. If I'm working on picture now, let's say I want to go to video, I can just click on here. Now I'm on video now. When I swap to video, you see that it take me back to the white. I can zoom out, zoom in. Remember, I advise us not to zoom. I'm just doing this for practical sake. Then from here, I can do a lot of settings. If I come here, I have access to do timing, front and back, set the camera that I want to use for the pictures and the likes, and then know about the software. If I come to this three dotted here, give me more features. One, I have where I can actually select the resolution of my picture, so I can change it to HD. I'm recording on 2K now. Your phone supports 4K. If you click here now, you can have list of, you can swap from left and right. Then the speed is the same thing. This way you can increase the speed times 2, which means if you are recording, it speed it up. You can do slow motion or fast forward from your recording. Then timer, you can on timer, you can come repeat. Guideline, we talked about guides. Let me use the guide. We talked about guide yesterday. If you don't remember that, please go back. We have white balance, which I just explained now, and we have screen mode. Now, I don't even need the guide. Let me just leave the guide, but probably we talked about it yesterday. Okay. So if I want auto level, if I click on this now, you see what happens, giving me that it's balancing the auto level for me, but I don't need it. Now, the major thing I will focus on here is the exposure. If I come here, I can easily increase the exposure. Do you see that the more I increase the exposure, the more details I have? Let me reduce this back a little. You see that the more I increase the exposure, the more details I have. So I can increase this a little bit more. Now, if I think this exposure is okay by me, I can lock it down. So you see now, which means if I start recording, I don't know if this will not cut my video on. Let's stop this. Once I start recording, you did not hear my voice again. So let me go to the record, and then let me try and play it back so that you can actually hear what I said throughout the section. So you see, that's what I just explained. The more you zoom in, you can actually go left. So this is what I explain when you don't hear my voice during the capture. Okay, so please, I think we get that. We understand how we can work with our exposure and how we can try as much as possible to make sure that we have a good shot. So please, when you are recording, try as much as possible to use some of these things. It will definitely help at the long run, and I'm very sure it will give us one of the best things you are looking for. I can guarantee you that. So try as much as possible to use them. You see now I'm having a very bad exposure, so let me reduce this. Reduce my balance, and then lock it down. So I think we are good to go. Now let's go back to our slide and then the fire on. Okay, so here we are. Now I've talked about all this. I've talked about this. Okay, so these are some of the applications we have. We have Power and Red. We have Adobe Premiere Rush. For some of them, I've used Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro, the mobile phone of it is Premiere Rush. We have Kick. We have KineMaster. Now, these are some of the list of the software we can use to edit. Trust me, most of these software actually have the same layer. Their arrangement may be different, but both of them practically do almost the same thing. There's only very few of them that have an outstanding output. But not to disturb ourselves front and back, we'll try as much as possible to explain each and every one of the software, one after the other. But before I will go into the explanation, let's quickly explain the interface and what we should expect. Once we are done with that, we'll quickly go into the practical, and I believe we should be able to have something good at the long run. So now, app interface. All these applications that we listed down, these are the things we should consider. One, more or less they have the same interface. Like if you check interface A and interface B, it's almost the same thing on the software. The only thing is just the arrangement. Now, project one of the things we should consider when we are doing our video editing is the project aspiration. What's the size of the project? So make sure you set that before you start. Are you doing landscape? Are you doing portrait? Are you using it for video, YouTube, or whatever? Import your media file. So once you have select the size, the shape or the size you want your work to do, the next thing is to import your videos that you've recorded. Add files to the timeline. Once you import the video, you have the file to the timeline. Some of them these days will even take it to the timeline for you. Some will not do that. You have to go to the timeline. Remove unwanted videos or footage. So slipped or delete is just for you to remove some places you don't want to. First slip it into 2, then you delete it. Mute the audio. If you think you don't need the video, you can mute the video so that you can put another video. Then you can unlink. You know, when you record your video, both video and audio are together. But in some cases, you may want to do something that you want to delete the video, and you don't want the audio to be deleted. So you have to unlink the audio so that the audio will be somewhere on one page, the video will be on one page, and then you link them together. Then we have add an effect. So if you want to put effect to join them together, then add titles. That's put a title on the image. Transmission, that's put something to indicate from one edge to another. Add a moving track to your timeline. So you can just put some of this track to your timeline. We'll do some of this in a few minutes now. Add more than one videos to the screen. So if you have more than one video on your screen, then you give it the best. Then you can change your video speed. So for example, now changing of video speed is talking about making your video in slow motion or make it more faster than what you have before. Then you can tell me about you can refast your image video. You can add subtitle. You can use text for subtitles. Then you can create a production and render your video, and that's it. Once you're able to do that, trust me, you are done. So without saying too much, let me go back to some of those software. Then we'll try and pick them one after the other. I will try and show you most of the interface, but because we are working on a landscape, I will use the one that gives me the best look for the landscape. And trust me, all of them have almost the same interface. So I'll pick them one after the other, and then we continue. Okay, so let's go. So these are the list of the softwares we'll be going through before the end of this course. But let me use KineMaster to extend the interface. Then I will enter other one after the other and try as much as possible to explain the interface. So now, sorry, it may be on landscape or it may be on portraits, but we'll go back to landscape in a few minutes. This is how the interface looks like when you first land in. You have new project. This is where you can start another project. You see some of the projects you have worked on before. Then you see home, which is the same thing as this is the landing page where they show you some of the live program. Let me even go there. Some of their general terms, some templates for videos, some videos editing, some intro where you can just pick them in and drag them. Some of them, if you check, like now I'm checking on intro, you see some of the nice intro that you can use online. You can download them and play around with them. Then we have mixed. So this is where you have interwoven. You see some of the work someone have done before, just like this TikTok. Then we have create. Create is where you start creating your video offline. Then you have me. This is where you have information about the application you are using. So here now what I need to do is create new. Then you have some information up here telling you what fashion are you using. Is it free or pre-fashion? Then you can easily see just notification and settings. Now if I click on settings here, that small icon, I have the settings of the application, which is very important. You see the fashion you are using, the language you have, the app reset, and the likes. So once you see everything is okay, you go back. So please, you can go to Play Store and download this application. They have a pro and a free version, and I think for this course, both of them should be able to help you far. And for some of you that are part of the group, probably we'll try as much as possible to see how we can get some of this software across to you in the group. So let's create new document. If I click on new document, this will happen. It asks me what's the resolution of my work. Are we together? So in this case now, I can decide how did I want my work to be. Did I want to be a square feet if you are using it on Instagram or TikTok, or did I want it to be landscape, square feet? So we have all these sizes here, but I will stick with this 16:9, which is the normal standard aspect ratio for standard video. Mind you, you have the right to change it to anyone here depending on the video you are working on. Then if you go to advanced, under advanced here, you have access to select the photo display mode. In most cases, people use fit or full. If you use full, which means anytime you bring photo in, no matter what the photo is, it will enlarge it to cover the screen. But if you use fit, it will fit in, which means sometimes you may have some loose space. But if you put auto, it automatically selects what you think is the best and then fix it for you. Then we have the photo duration. How long do you want each photo to stay if you are working on photo? So you can increase it and set it from here. So I'm leaving them by default, and then I'll click on create. Once I create this, it takes me to the land page. On this land page, the down part when I have something like red is my, let me just mark them out. This place, that's my timeline. That's where I'll be doing all my work. And you see this upper part, all this page, that's where my file is. So I think that is clear enough. Okay. So now that I'm here, first thing I need to do is to bring some files in that I want to work on. So I can come to these are some of the files I have. You see the one I have on open camera. If I scroll down, there is a lot of files depending on what you have on your phone. So here, which file should we play around with? Okay, let's go to camera so that we can see some videos on camera. Okay, these are some of the videos on camera. These are the videos. Okay, let's pick one of the I think there's one or two videos we create. Okay. Okay, let's say I pick this. I think this was recorded in the class. Now I pick one video. You see that I jump on timeline. You can put more than one video. Let's say I pick let me look for another video. If I can get any other short video or long video, it does not matter whether it's short or long anyway. It all depends on you. And then let's say I pick this video. So now I've picked like two videos. Let's say the two videos are okay by me. The second video is very, very long. Let's say this video is okay by me. So what else did I need to do? Then I can come to the camera up here and click on arrow back, and then I can click on this back, so which means I'm off the media. So let's go down. I'm on the landing page. Let's clearly explain this entire interface. Now I will go into the other softwares one after the other before the end of today's class and explain to us how far. Okay, sorry, we have a little brief network. So now that big side I circled is the control panel. So I will open it one after the other, I explain. Then you see where you have my picture here or my video here. This is where you see what we've been doing. Now they have the best layer, but trust me, this is not the best software to edit. But because they allow the landscape, and it will be good for us to explain all the terms here before we go into other software. So trust me, they have one of the best layer. Let me put it that way. Then if you come to this side, you have undo. This is undo, just to do what you have done before. You have redo. This just to take what you first. Now I will do practical more of them. You see, this is for you to put your video in full screen so that you can see what you are doing. This is for you to go more into the settings, and this is for you to work on your timeline. So it will expand your timeline for you to see your timeline more clearer. And you see the last option here is to close that bar, this long bar, to hide it, to push it. No, sorry, to take you to the next video you have. So if I put like 5 video on the timeline, it allows me to push me to the next one. I hope it's clear enough. Okay, so let's remove this then. So now, for instance, now I've already had some video. I can go back here, and I'm not with the Bluetooth speaker. I don't know why I keep forgetting the speaker. This is the starting point. If I click on play, I don't know if the play is coming out from your end, but I can't hear the voice because the speakers is not here. But nevertheless, I will try as much as possible to explain. So I will try as much as possible to explain and find solution for this maybe against tomorrow. So if you can't hear the voice, then I will find a better solution against tomorrow for this. But that's just the bottom line. You put your work on the timeline. Now, what do we do when you put work on the timeline? Here, you can add additional layer. Let's go back to this video. Let's say somewhere around this video, I want to put my name here altogether. You can come to this layer. Now, let me quickly explain this layer one after the other, because that's what today is for. First, let's go to layer. Layer is where you can come in to add additional layers to your work. You can add a lot of things. First, you can add media. So you can put picture, video, and the likes. You can add media. So 2, you can add effects. Effect is just putting some dancing and nice things. 3, you can put stickers. Then you can put text. Then you can put handwriting. I will do practical of each of them. Then when you come to media, this is where you can go back to where you pick all these things in and bring another video in. And once you are on media, you can filter here and show whether you want to look for only video, pictures, or both. And you can decide to arrange them in order. And if you go to this thing that looks like a house, it's for you to bucket, to download some footage online. Then we have audio. This is where you can get some nice audio from get audio. This is where you can get it online, and you can actually select your own personal audio by going to your system drives here. And I can go to folder now, then look for my music. You see I have the one, look some of the music you have, and then you are good to go. Okay, let me cancel this. Then we have record. This is where you can record your own voice and use it for your design. So then we have, if you come here, this allows us to go back to where we are coming from altogether. So I'll click back so that I will go back in. Undo and redo is just to redo and undo. Full screen, I explained this. So this allows us to set, are you saving this capture, are you saving as a clip? So this is where you can save it out. Then settings, this is where you can do some basic settings for audio, the settings of your audio, the settings of your video, and the end part. So at the end, what do you want this to do? So then we have, if you click on this gives you access to your timeline. So you can do whatever you want on your timeline. And if I click back, it hides it. And this allows me to go to the next slide or the end of my slide, you see. Now in between them, I have this option. If I click on this option, I have option to get transmission. So if I scroll down, I can pick any of this transmission. If I click on this, now you see a lot of things. Let's say I go for love. If I scroll back here now, do you see how those two objects move to each other all together? Let's say I leave it here and I come down here. If I play this video, see what happens. Once you get to the next video, do you see now? So that's how to add transmission. So let me pause this. I hope you are getting it. So let's say I want to put it right up now. Because we are now with the output and then we're able to put things in the right position. But for now, let's say we just want to play around. For example, now let's say I want to have another layer under this layer. All I need to do that is simple. I will just come to my layer here. Now let's say I want to put another media under this place. I will just come to media and then go to anywhere you know your video is, and I can pick the video we did today. Let's say the one we just did now. Oh sorry, I picked a wrong video. Let me undo this. Select this. Select anywhere you have your video. So I'm selecting this last video we recorded. You see now, this is the video of model we just recorded now, and I can decide to enlarge it. I can reduce it. Let's say on my video I'm talking about something, so I want to show the picture one corner at the edge. So I can just click on the video here and then adjust it and take it up a little. Now if you look at my screen, you will see that I have two layers now. Now the video layer is under, but you see as I'm coming in here, if I start playing, you see that the video just apply, boom. I can decide to come here, click on this, trim it, edit it. Let's say I don't want this other part to be there. Are you seeing the video? Okay, let me enlarge the video first. Now you see that I don't want the system part to be there. What did I need to do? I will swap to where I want it to end. Let's say somewhere around here. Don't want to, let's say I just want this short. Maybe I was just talking about how model So I want this short section. If I click here, on the options here, you see replay, cut and split. You see animation. So let's take it one after the other. Replay simply to finish it, will loop and start playing again. Cut and split, which it cut it or split it into two altogether. So if I use this now, see what happened. It's asking me, when I click on cut and split, it said, am I cutting to the left, to the right, or just split? Split simply means I'm just cutting it. I will do what I want. To the right simply means it will delete everything to the right. To the left simply means it will delete everything to the right. But in this case, I want to delete everything to the right. So I will just delete everything to the right. Delete everything to the right. That's what I want to do. So you see, it cut it for me and delete the entire thing I have to the right. So at this point now, I only have what I want. So I can go back. Now I have the video here. So which means if I scroll back now to the beginning, I only have the modem. If I go back and play, I only have the modem come in. Don't worry, I will readjust it first. Okay, to a little bit of the system, and wow, we are done. So I can pause this, go back to the beginning back, select this, and I can adjust this to the small corner I want it. Then go back here, play the video, just to be sure that my head is not touching it, and maybe I talk about modem, and then the modem is, everything I talk is okay, I'm done. Now, let me pause again, go back here. But you see that video just come, boom, I don't want that. I click on this video, I have more option, we can come in here. Now, split is the same thing of the other one, it's just to split it into two, which we'll use more of it. Let's say I want to put an animation to come in. So if it is coming in, I want it to just, let's say, slide down. You see now, it just, instead of appearing anyhow, it just slide down. I think slide down is okay, or let me say slide up. No, slide up is not okay. Slide from the left. No, slide from the right. So from the right is okay because I put it at the edge. So okay, that is okay. Now I've done that. Then let's go back. Let's go back. Let's play now. Now instead of the thing just appear, see what happened. It's moved in. So I can pause now. On the same video, then another thing I can do is I can add more animation. Maybe I want something to happen when the work is already in. So let's say push, okay, jump. So I just want to, oh, this is too much. I just want to do something to focus people's attention there. Do you see the effect of this ring? Wow, this is sweet, but it's not sweet for what I need it for. But you can use this for your intro. Flat. So just for you to make notification during the period. So there are plenty of effects here that you can play around with. But let me just put none, since for this effect nothing more. But if the video finish, how did I want it to escape? I can come here now and say it should scale up. So you just zoom out and then go out. So let's play our work now, and let's see how. And you can set the time duration of the work there. So let me come back here. Let me come back out. Complete. Let's play our video. So you see, it slide in. I'm not doing any. I don't ask him to do anything. That's why it's not doing anything at the moment. Then it fade out when the video is up. So pause. I hope you are communicating. This is clear enough here. So from here now, I can. What else can I do for you? Can I do here? If I click here too, there are a lot of other options I can mute the audio. Let's say there is audio for this, which I know there is an audio. I can come here. I can decide to on the audio or mute it. It's the audio volume, and I can come here and say no, I don't even want the audio of that overlay, since my main audio should come out very well. I can go back here. I can talk about speed. Now the way it come up, I want it to be faster or slower. I can come here and then come to the speed and say, okay, let me make it slower, so it will be longer if it is slower. But if I want it to be fast, let's say I give it 1.5. Now if I come back from the beginning here, you can do this for any of the layer. I'm just using that layer for an example. If I come here, see how fast the video will work now. Do you see? But if I want to talk longer on that video, I can click on this video. Sorry, on this video, I'm working on the smaller one. You can do the same thing for all, and go to speed. Then I can make it smaller. This is slow motion now. I've talked the fast motion, this slow motion. I'm applying now. You can't use slow motion on this, but I'll just use this for explanation. I can go back. Sorry. So I can click outside here, play the video. Now the video will take a longer time. Do you see how it takes its time? Because I've made it to be long. Now that's why I said when you're using slow motion, try to use it on a drop of water, something fast. You know the work is slow before you see that it's becoming nonsense. You don't even know that it's a video anymore. It's just turning like a picture. Why? Because I turn it to in slow motion and it's already slow on its own, so I can't have the good effect I'm looking for there. But I think you get the idea. So let me pause this because it's becoming nonsense to me. So I can go back, click here, go back to that, and then let me put it on my normal one, so I'm not putting any effect on it. Now any effect you see this red dot telling me that I've applied this effect on this layer. I can reverse the image, which is I turn it upside down. I can, let's say, okay, we'll come and talk more about it. We'll come and talk about this this free screen later. So we have a lot we can do. We can remove background. So there are a lot of features we can actually play around here. You can remove background. You can max an image out. We can blend two objects together and the likes. It just depends on what we want to do. So we'll come back and talk more about that. Another thing we can do here, let's say we can add additional layer. I've had video and work on the video. Let's say I want to put text. I can just come to text here. I can just put down my name. Let's say Okunlola Bolaji. And then let me put OK. Now my name appear here. I can enlarge the name. I can bring the name anywhere I want. Let's say here from your screen. You see that I have the same features. Keyboard allow me to do. I can come to the front, look for a nice front. Let's say this front is okay by me. Tick OK. Tick OK. And you see, I should be having such fronts, except I'm having some issue with my this thing here. And then select. Okay, I think I'm having a little issue with that. We'll talk about that. Then we can use the same smith. I can put an event in and out. I want to pump up, and then you can go out. During the time, I want it to just be. I don't like that. I don't like ring too. Okay, I think that's looking better. And clockwise is not good. Okay. Okay, let's say I just leave this. It's not necessary to use all this effect though. And mind you, I'm just playing around. I'm not doing a serious work, so understand that, please. So now it's now going back in. I can set it should be slow, a little slow when it's going, but from the timing on that. So I can do all this playing around, change the color. I don't want white. I want let's say green. And click OK. I can use tribogravure. I can put outline. I can honey put glowing, that it will just be glow. Do you see how the thing is using glow? Okay, I can do that. Go back. Then background color. If I want to add background color, I can come here on it, and I have a background color too. So I'll play around, put a lot of things there. So if I click outside here, I can come down here now. So if I play, now I set it that immediately the video disappear. That's where it should come up. So I can start from here, play. Now see what happened. The video slide in. It take its time, and then it pulled out. Then the name come in. Now the name is in between effect and the name disappeared. So I think we got that. Now we are just running basics. Then if I come to effects here, this way I can add some additional layer effects. There are so many of them. You see that when I click on this, look at my face here, it look blur. So let's say I'm doing something and I want to make it blur. You can actually play around with them. I'm not using any of these, so let me just select this, go back. So let me come here. Let me undo what I did before so that I will remove that layer completely. Remember, undo allow to remove what you've. So I think I stop here. Okay. So now I can add effects. You can come here to add some all these logo. I don't think there is anyone that will be suited. Okay. let me dress myself as a, okay, I don't know. Okay, let's say I want to put a love module. I can drag it here, reduce it small, drag it here. So this, I've said it earlier, I'm just playing around. I can even give myself cap. I don't like football. I can borrow myself tie and put it there. I think you understand the idea. So you can come around and bring if there is anything, and you can go to the store to download more. If you don't see what you want, you can just go to the store to download. I've talked about text. Hand drawing is for you to just draw something with your hand that will apply on the design. If I click here now, I can select which color and I can come here and draw anything. I can change the color from red. I can clean it up if I don't want to. And if I'm done, I can leave it and I can animate it. I can put an effect on it and see if it's coming in. You should just draw himself in. Draw outline. Are we together? Then doing it should stay. If it's coming out, it should just fade out. Okay, so, and remember, if I click on this, you see that I'm having a lot of layers designed under. Are you seeing them? These are the one I've played around with just now. If I click on play now, do you see what happened? It's hand draw and then it's disappear. So each of them is creating layers for me as I'm replacing them on top of each other. And you can see if the work is different, you can click here and then drag the object to wherever you want it to be. Okay, that's where you want them to start, and you can drag here to increase them, the edge, to increase how long you want the object to stay. So I think just remember that anything the way to edit each layer is the same, depending on the layer you are bringing in. So I think I've talked about most of this layer, and if I want to download more layer, I can go to that edge box at any point. It will load me online, and you see I have a lot of, if it is vector I want, you can come here and I have a lot I can just download and use. If you want all these small icon, audio. So I will come back to most of this because I want us to do work on real life and practical, but the sound, we are not getting the sound, so we can't play around. I think you understand the interface of this software. I believe you can do basic work on your own. You can do introduction, you can just play around and design something sweet on your own, just with this little opening. So we'll go deep into most of these softwares, but I think we get this little opening. Okay, so we've talked about the translation, how to translate them from each other. That's where we use love. And if you don't like the love, just click on the love. There are plenty. Come to another layer. You don't like love, okay, you can use something like this. Do you see now? That one change it to something like, so I can click outside now, play. See now, it's automatically reduce the first one. Then there's a lot of things you can just play around with. So I believe we understand this software. If you have any challenge with this software, based on the level we just extend to now, please drop it. With this now, you can do a short film. You can record video on your own and put your intro, do a basic, small layers, put your name on top and the likes. We'll be doing more than that at the long run. But I think I believe you should be able to do that by now. You should be able to do those small one as at this moment. I don't know if I'm communicating. So by now, you should be able to go to the software, which is Scan Master, put your little layer, add one or two things on top, and then I think you should be able to do that. So, okay, since I believe you should be able to do that, then what I need to do now is I will go to some other softwares, show you how the interface is. So my screen now will be on landscape. So on portrait. So, but just follow along so that you know how other software work. Then we'll come out and do our practical, probably the next class tomorrow, and it will be a good day. That's on Monday. So, okay, let's quickly bring out some of the other softwares. Now, officially, me as a person, this EasyVN is a free software, 100% free. It's one of the software I loved most in this editing. Let me quickly show you how it works. It's one of the software, trust me, I love most. But there is nothing I can do. It only work on landscape. This is how the interface look like. You have your template. If you work on a design template for yourself, just like the other one, you have you can get some of their templates. You have home, you have tutorial. So here you can come and read on your own, watch some videos, and then you should be able to kick off. And this is where you see more about your electrician detail. So as usual, let's start from scratch, as we always done. So here, To start your video from scratch, it's very simple and straightforward. You see one add button. Let me quickly circle it so that you can get it. You see this add button down at the corner. Okay, so just click on it. It will take you in and ask you what do you want to do. Do you want to do a new project? You want to design a template for yourself, an overlay, or a story? So in this case, I will just go to project. Mind you, I can just click on new project. So it take me in to bring in some videos. Let me see if I can just pick one or two of my videos here. Okay, let's say I pick these videos. You can pick as many videos as you want per time. Let's say I pick this video too, and then it's showing me the video I've picked under here. So I can just go in to the video. It will take some time to process video. I pick an heavy videos anyway, almost 1 hour video. That's why it's taking this time. But if you are doing a short video, it won't take that time. But I internally pick more large video for two sections, just for you to see how far you can go. Maybe when the other one, I will just pick short video for explanation's sake. So it's processing. So please, mind you, remember most of the softwares have the same interface. So anytime you are working, always have it at the back of your mind that most of the softwares have almost the same interface. And that's the best thing you can imagine for yourself, trust me. The softwares have the same layers. The layer may be different, but they have almost the same features. So the features you are looking for in A is there, is in A, is in B. So let's go back and see if this thing I've done. Okay, we are still on halfway. So maybe the next time I won't use every video so that we'll be able to cross this bridge faster. Then tomorrow we'll talk more about how can you have two of you on the screen, on a scene, and doing different, maybe eating and cooking or reading, and just 2-3 things at the same time without stressing yourself. So we'll try as much as possible to work on that. Okay, it's taking longer time than I expected. So if you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment sections or drop it in the group. We'll try as much as possible to reply all your questions. So this is taking a longer time. Okay, so I believe if anybody have any questions, please feel free to drop them. I don't think we have any questions so far. Okay, there's no any questions so far. So please, if you have any questions, try and drop it on the comment section, and I'll try my best to pick them up here. So okay, as this is going, let me quickly try and pick other softwares. Another software that most people still love to use is this Power Director. Let me quickly open it. So that once that one finished, we can come up here. Here have the same interface as you can see. You have your product video. This is where you can see some of the tutorial videos you can watch, their YouTube channel, Instagram channel. If you come to settings, you see the settings of what you have. This was set to 880, which is 2K. You can set yours to 720, or if your system is lower. But I was trying to leave it on full HD. It's going a long way for you to have a good production as if you are producing from system. So here to what you need to do is just click a new project. It will ask you the name of the project. I can call this OGUN. Sorry, OKE. OGUN. The OGUN workshop. Then you have the same resolution. See, that's almost the same thing. So I'm using this same resolution. Then to load you and ask you to select the video you want to use. So you see now. So this time I will not select any heavy video, so that we'll have a good output. Let's say I select this video, which I can play. I can just add it, and I can just decide to play it and see what is in the video, but I can't hear the audio now. Then I can okay, I recorded this few days back. I can pick this, I can add this too. So let's say I'm adding this too, and I can just tick, and you see it's already on timeline because they are short video. But let me go back to where we are, the other one we are discussing. Sorry, I'm trying to use one stone. See, it's still loading because the video is heavy. So if I come here, and the software too matters. You see this play button? Let me quickly explain this interface too. First, this circle is what you use to play your video. This is where you add your intro of your page. Are we together? This is where you have add the intro of your page, and then this is your timeline. This is where you have additional layer. This is where you had audio, and this is where you had text. This is where you had additional video. This is where you had additional image, audio, adjustment, and the list continue. So let me clear this. So I can scroll down here. You see Mojo, effects. You can mix your audio inside. So if I click here, it will give you some notification. You see now, I can see my videos. You can make the videos full screen. If you want the video to be full screen, you can just make it full screen here. If you want the video to be a full screen, so you can just this plus is for you to add additional video on top, beside, in front, sorry. So here now I can play the video. I can come here now and say, okay, I'm adding text, just like what we did the other time. And here the beauty of it is the text already have some effects inside. So I can say, okay, let me go with something. Okay, let me say something like this. I can even click on this and play how the video will look like, and then I think it's okay for me. So I can pick this. I can just click on add, and you see now it's happy. I can double tap here and put maybe my name. Let's say Okunlola, OKE, UN, Okunlola Bolaji. Then here I can click on this. If I'm done with it, I can come here. I can adjust it. I can bring it down. I can adjust. I can scroll down now and play, and see the name appear. Now here I have a lot of options. I can submit this one is to cut, just like the other one we have here. Edit the text, to edit it, change the font. I can click here now, and I have a lot of nice fonts. Let's say I love this. Are we together? So I have to just download it. So it's already downloaded. You see that my name I've changed to that format. I can close this if I'm done with the front. I can come to text design. So this way I can change the color, and I can change the opacity to make it visible under. I can use any color of my choice. I think something like this or something like this is better. You can increase the opacity or decrease the opacity. You can use gradients, that's adding to color. I think this is nice. If I'm done, and I can adjust, I can formulate, I can put bold, I can put slides, just play around. I can put it center, and I can come here, put border 1, border 2. So if I'm done with this, I click outside. So here, let's say I want to, if I click on this one, I can still make some correction. So let's say I want to add additional video apart from this video I have here, just like we want to put it under each other. I want to add another video on top of this. I can put video in the front, but I want to put another video on top of this. So okay, here now I can just click on videos. It will take me there. Let's say I'm picking these same videos we use. I click on add. You see that I have it on top. I can adjust it the way we adjust the other one. I told you all of them are the same thing, so I can just adjust it. I can even have to rotate here and rotate it sideways, and then put it here. Do you see? So if I play now, do you see? Modem, the video is going because I rotate it. I can click on the video. If I click on the video, I can do a lot of editing. If I come here, I've split the video into 2 now. So just the way we delete the other one. So I can click on this place now, and then if I don't want it, I can scroll down to delete. So these have a lot of features. These have plenty of features than the other one. So if I come here now, let's say we want to do some work on this. Let's say I enlarge this a little, I will bring it in so that we can see all the things we are doing. Let's say I put it beside here. First, I can come to, I've shown you volume. This way you can control the volume. So I'm muting the volume of this because I don't want it to interfere with what I'm using before. You can fade in, fade out. So it give you control over the volume. You can mix your full audio here. Just do some mixing work. Okay, let's go back to what we are editing. We can audio wave tools. So this is just to play around with audio. We can add filter. and you can adjust here. This is where we can do some color grading. You can even put opacity. You see the way I'm changing the color. See the way the color is becoming sharper. Then you can color grade. So these have a lot of features. You can bright it. Now I'm working on that modem. You can do a lot here. You can tint. It's just normal thing you can do on mobile, normal system device. You can do speed up. You can do opacity, which means it will be transparent. The using I've mixed it together. I will show you how to maximize and play around with this opacity. You can do everything. You can do in one. You can do it in all. And you can say, how will I put effect like the other one? Just come to animation. In animation, which animation do you want to come in? They have a lot of them here. Let's say I want it to just like this. So this is how I want the video to come in. Do you see now it's coming like that? I can come to 3D. Okay, let me select this. So let's say I want it to just rotate like that and come in. I can set the time on top. I can go back and select the output. That's the when it's going out. I can come to any of these. Let's say I want it to just slide under slide. So these have a lot of features than the other one. I can put slide, which means if it's going out, it slide out. I think this is clear enough. So I can come out. You can do mask. You can do. There is a lot we can do here. A lot we can do here. But the bottom line is you discover that they all have the same features. This is where you can put some adjustments, and then you can play around the adjustments you want to work on. So you discover that they all have the same thing, and on this at this corner, so they have the same thing. I think I'm able to explain this too. There is not much on it. You can double the layer and play around and the likes. Okay, let me go back to the one that is loading, which I'm sure by now it's supposed to have done. Okay, I don't know what happened. We put the work out. Okay, let me just pick a shorter video. I need 2 videos that is not that long. Okay, let's say these 2, and then click enter. You can pick one video. It's not compulsory to be 2. I'm just using 2 videos for easy accessibility. Now you see all this other one is on portrait. So and for training, you may not actually see what I'm doing more proper. But mind you, they have a lot of good softwares. A lot of good softwares. You see, I have the 2. Now, why did I love this? Is 100% free. Just go there, VN video, download it. It's 100% free. Now, why did I love this software so much? It's the only one I have or I know of that have a standard system look on mobile phone. Why? Look at it. You have your cover here. Let me quickly explain the entire interface for these 2. At least it will help us. First, you have your cover page here, so you can design the cover of your work. You have your audio line, you have your video line, which is not common to other, and you can add any other layer you want up as many as possible. You have you can enlarge it here to see the full video. You can play your video here. Then this part is where you edit, just like the one we left now. This is where you do the speeding, cutting, trimming, add effect and the likes on, and this where you monitor the entire work. This is where you change the size of your work, and this is where you save your work out if you are done. And they put some tutorial here. So the beauty of this is it makes the work more easier and flexible, and you have some templates you can just come up here, select and apply to your work, and it makes the work fine. And you can create some of your own template and import it in. If you have filter speed, just like the normal one. It's just the arrangement that I loved most. I loved the settings and the arrangement. It's very, very close to the system settings and arrangement. And mind you, if you say, how will I put transition? Just click on this plus. You see that they have a lot of transition here too. And all of them are just the same way. So I can just say, okay, these are new. Let me pick one of these new. You see the way it fade into another one? You see? Let me check this too. Wow, this is nice. It's just as if I drag the camera myself to the other one. Do you see how it blends in? Okay, if I use apply to all, it means all the clips you put it will apply to them. So this is one of the best. I can come here now and say, okay, I want to add. I'm adding another. Once you click on add, it asks you see video. Let's say I'm bringing a new video in, and then let's say I bring this video in. Now this video is on landscape. So, and it's a little bit long. Now, sometimes I told you we should try as much as possible not to use landscape, but mind you, there is a way they are good. Look at the way I record this is a record I make, I think some days back. I can just put it beside here and then put a lot of write-up, and you see the minute I click here, some features come up to replace, to put a key on it, to duplicate or to delete it. So you see, and it's on top of each other now. If I click on this now, motion, I can come here. This is where I can add effect on it. So there are plenty of effects you can play around with, and I can increase the duration. Let's say I put this, and I can increase the duration on how it's coming, and I can click on OK if I'm done with that. I can smith, just X is for cut it or split it, and I can come here to get some nice looking effects. I'm not using any of this. So I think this is clear enough. So okay, most of the other softwares are like that. I have a list of most of them, and I think I've used majority of them, and they have the same. Even if you go to this Familiar Pro, it's the same thing. You have the work you've done before. You create a new project. Inside the new project, you select the video. You see that the video, you can select both video and picture. Anyway, for all of them, you can select both video and picture. And say picture. I don't know if there's any other video. Let's say this video, and then next, and then to process that, most of them will do the counting process for you, just to make sure that the work is complete. So I think we're able to talk about the interface to some extent today, and you see I have my video here, my play is still here just like every other one. I can add audio here, the timeline down there, the settings are the same, they just rearrange them. Then I can play around, remember, anywhere you join, just click on what is in between. They bring the effects they have for you. You have 3D, plenty of them. Each of them, they may have much this more than each other. So let me just pick one. So, and you see here now, most of them are not, I have to download them. Let me pick the one that is already of the software you can lay your hand on, and you should be able to work on the interface. So you see the way, just the same way you had the first to Mr. A is the same thing you had it to Mr. B and Mr. C. Zoom out. They have the sound, still the same interface. If I add text, there is text here. Type whatever you want. I've been using Okunlola, Bolachi. Then some of them will give you some additional layer like this. Now give me options to see some templates I can pick from and play around with. So I think I love this. And then it puts its own animation in and out in between. So inside there, so I have to download it before using it. Now it's already downloaded. This is there, and then the out, I can come out here and say I want this. So this is out, and then you see I have a line here to control when I want it to start and how long. So I've just adjusted to, and then I'm seeing it on the screen here. I adjust the video from the edge. I can rotate it. I can just put it somewhere here. And I can come to templates. This way I can see a lot of templates. If I don't want to stress myself and be setting, I can just, I think this one that come up, let me download this. This looks nice to me. Now let me use this. So it's downloading. Okay, this one is done download, so let's use this so that we won't waste most of our time. If I click on, you see that the thing changes to it immediately. So now if you want to move your clip, this is the video. I can, since it's longer than the video, I can drag it back, or I can just long press on it and then drag it to wherever I want. Then I can expand it to wherever I want it to, and I can come here now, play my video. Mind you, I'm not doing what I've done in the other one, and you see I'm having the videos here. Now I'm the one that selects the template and it fade out. So front. So if I go back here now, I have other features. If I cancel this, so now I have other features. You can add layers. You can just be able to do something and gain something today. By God's grace, I believe you've learned something today, and I believe you are able to do one or two things far more than what you've mastered before. So sorry, I have to just go to that line so that we can go into and learn one or two things. So by God's grace, by tomorrow, by Monday, we'll try as much as possible to go deep into more practical of each of them. I believe between now and tomorrow, your assignment is to pick one of the software you want, install it, check everything, just play around it. If you have any question, drop it in the group, drop it in the comments, drop it anywhere that I can get access to. You can just chat me directly up. I may not reply on time because of my schedule, but trust me, you'll still get your reply as much as possible. So try as much as possible to make sure those things are done. If you can do that, then it will be a plus and it will be a great help for me. So by tomorrow, we'll do some advanced aspects. Then I will talk about how can you, all the videos you have, you recorded, how can you short it to 30 seconds and use. So you can have a breakdown of the entire video of, let's say, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes into 30 seconds preview, just like what I put on my status today. So we'll do that this tomorrow on Monday, and I promise you that we'll try as much as possible to give you the best. Thank you very much for still staying up to this time. Thank you for staying on this channel. Please, there are a list of let me try and show you the list of most of the softwares. Just pick any of them, they are here. All of them are almost the same thing. Play around with them. I know you'll have used one or two of them. Cut Clip is one of the best, not mainly for editing but for manipulation and the likes. So play around with them. Tomorrow we'll meet again, and I promise you it will be a wonderful day. Thank you very much. Thank you for staying up to this time. Today is just an interview, so please go back home overnight today, after doing your break at work tomorrow. Go through what we do now, work on the interface, record a video for yourself, bring it in, put a capture on it, play around the interface, and then we'll do whatever we can at the long run to make sure that we have the best result we can. Time.